Alright, so today we have a haul video. I went to the Williamsboro Flea Market once again on Sunday. I've been really going there every week and will continue to do so even when the stores around here open back up. Hello, my name is Karen. I am Lavenderclothesline. I am a full-time reseller on eBay and local platforms for those of you who are new to my channel. And if you are new to my channel, I ask that you hit the like and subscribe button. This channel helps to support me, and I take time out of my crazy day to make videos for you guys to show you what I'm picking up for resale, what the items will bring or expect them to bring, and pretty much anything I know about them, which a lot of times is not a lot. So I want to encourage those of you who want to resell to make some extra money that you don't need to know a lot about things. With social media being what it is, with so much information online, you can comp or check out or investigate just about anything you find. All you do is type what you know about the item into a Google search or an eBay search or any selling platform pretty much, and you can see information about the item and then continue with your own research. So a lot of what I show, I don't know a lot about. Now I might have a clue of what things are, I might be able to tell what country they're from or what they're made of, but generally the things that I'm selling in my eBay store, I don't have a lot of knowledge, and in my opinion you don't need a lot of knowledge to make really good money on eBay or any selling platform. So let's get started with today's haul, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Okay, so the first items that I found, well, let me back up and say when I get to the flea market, I get there very early in the morning. I really like to get a lay of the land and see who's where, because some of the vendors move around a little bit and the regulars seem to stay in the same place. But I like to see what the day is going to bring. And last Sunday, quite a few people had boxes on the ground, box lots. Some of them were doing $1 an item, and some of them were doing just gather a bunch of stuff and ask for a price. So I shopped probably, I'm going to say with probably 8 to 10 vendors. I filled my trunk, found great stuff, really thrilled with what I found, and I'm going to show you a good amount of it today. So let's get started right away, and I'm going to show you this tea set, sugar and creamer set. Beautiful, just gorgeous. Now I think this finish is called lusterware. It has like an iridescent glaze to it in a beautiful, I'm going to call this periwinkle blue, maybe a little bit lighter. This is the creamer. On the bottom it says made in Germany. See if you can see that. And really nice condition. I do run my finger around the rim. Even when I'm outside shopping, I try to do that quickly, and right away your finger will find if there's a chip or an imperfection, which a lot of times chips and imperfections will be on the mouth of the item or the handle of the item. Now sometimes it could be on the bottom from putting it down, but a lot of times the bottom of an item is built stronger than the top for some reason. So this does have a little flea bite chip. That means it's very, very minuscule. See if you can see that. But I loved this set. I reached into the box and got this and this. And guys, forgive me, I can't remember what I got from who, so I'm just going to show you items. Know that I'm shopping with everybody and anybody there. I don't play favorites. Yep, this one too, matching set, made in Germany. Most of these items I will pay anywhere from $1 to $3, I'm going to say. And that's what that looks like. So again, lusterware, I believe, made in Germany, black handles, and a beautiful blue iridescent glaze. And just know that I have photographed all of these items, and I've edited my photos and logged them. And the next step, hopefully later on this evening, will be listing them. So if you're interested in purchasing anything from my eBay store, you can go to Lavenderclothesline on eBay, and I should have a link in the description down below, and you can see what they're selling for. Sometimes when you look at the bottom of an item that you buy, it'll tell you what country the item was made in, and sometimes it does not say it. So probably about 2 or 3 years ago, somebody, I believe on Instagram, posted a chart that gave you clues. Now it's not a hard, fast rule, but I carried that chart with me in the photos of my phone. It'll say like items made in Taiwan or from this date to that date. because at a certain point, I think it's called the McKinley Act, items had to be marked that were coming into our country with what country they were being made in and imported from. So that will give you a clue to how old items are. And I will post that chart here, a picture of it, so you guys can copy that and have a little cheat sheet to know when these items were made approximately. Okay, let's keep moving. I'm going to be chatty today, I'm warning you. All right, what should we talk about? Next item up, I found these in, I think I found these in dollar lots, maybe. 2 coffee mugs, really beautiful, running horses. Love these. And inside, this is the fun part, they say, whoa. So the bottom is, this looks handmade, M-A, I'm going to say Hedley, H-E-D-L-E-Y, which I will look up. Anything that I have, like I don't know anything about these mugs. I can tell they're probably coffee mugs or tea mugs. They look hand painted to me, and the signature. That's what I will put into a search right on eBay, and I will start from there to investigate. But yeah, so I paid $1 a piece, and I have no idea what they're going to bring. I'm going to keep them together. Anything like this, I don't part them out. I keep it together as a set because I feel it's easier to sell 2 coffee mugs together than each one individually. Now, they probably would sell individually, and you might get like $1 or 2 more, you know, collectively if you sold them individually, if all of that makes sense. But I like to keep 2 coffee mugs together, and I'm thinking I'm going to sell these, depending on comps, probably about the $30 mark. And I do buy it now almost always. A few of my listings are auction, but the majority of my listings are buy it now. Right now I probably have a little over 3,000 items in my store. Before COVID shut the world down, I think I had about 3,500, and I've been selling through it. And let me tell you guys, there has been no greater time in my selling career that I am thrilled to be long tail big store. It's not huge store, but having that 3,500 items, I feel really helped me. Now, most of you know who have been following me for a while, I don't keep a death pile, and looking back, I'm still happy I don't have a death pile. I know that did help out a lot of sellers who do keep death piles. When all their sources shut down, they were able to just list off of their death pile. But my store has been great, pumping away. My sales have been terrific, thank goodness. And yeah, but I am ready to get back out full force to restock my store. So 2 horse mugs, probably about $30. Don't quote me on that, and you can find them in my store. Okay, the next dish I found, I did find this in dollar lots, is a sweet little bird dish. I imagine this is a soap dish, that's what I would use it for. And the back says Ormond, Bavaria, M. Williams. So that is what the back looks like. Hopefully the camera is focusing on that. Really pretty, again, an iridescent glaze, great condition. So this is vintage, and yeah, paid $1 for it, super sweet. Okay, next item I love to find. I do well with these, and I almost always pick them up. Ready for this? Brass butterflies to hang on the wall. Look how pretty those are. Now these were very popular, I'm going to say in the 80s. A lot of modern companies from the 80s at the time reproduced these, but this set is vintage, really nicely made. That is the back of it. You can see that they have hangers. And what does the sticker say? The sticker says made in, oh, I'm going to need the glasses. It's tiny, tiny. I should get the magnifying glass out. That would be helpful. Made in Korea. So again, you can refer back to the chart that I used, that I gave you prior, and you can try to figure out, as I name the countries, if you screenshot that chart, you can figure out from around what date these were imported. So it's a set of 3. What did I pay for these? I got these at Bill's, and Bill gave me one price for everything. He's a sweetheart of a man. So I have been shopping with him for quite a while, probably early last year, I'm going to say. And it's great fun at the flea market. The vendors pull up, they have vans and trucks most of the time, they open the doors, and everybody helps bring out their boxes of inventory, and then we all dig through. So really great fun. Again, Williams Grove Flea Market, if you're in the area, which is, I believe, Mechanicsburg, I've mentioned that before, you want to stop at that flea market and see what treasure you can find. Okay, the next item I found were these two beautiful angel candlesticks, or candle holders, I should say. I always call them candlesticks. They're really candle holders. And the minute I saw these, they were in a box slot. I grabbed one because I could tell by the quality of how her face is painted that it was something good. It wasn't a cheap, dollar store item. Can you guys see how beautiful her face is? When you look at ceramics or porcelain, any kind of hard goods that have a face painted on them, pay attention to the eyes and the centering of the features. Is her nose correct? See the color on her cheeks, how well done that is? Right away I could tell that this was something I wanted to look at. For a little tiny doll or a little tiny ceramic, she has very good expression on her face. Okay, I'll stop now. I always go on and on. I love something nicely made. So this is marked L. Hjorth, I think we're saying it. So Hjorth is spelled Hjorth. This is Denmark. And this company, beautiful items. Some of their items can bring well over $100. Now for the pair of candlesticks, candle holders, which are in great shape, I'm expecting probably between 50 and 60, if not higher. Look how pretty those are. And lovely print on her skirt. So I said yes to these two. All right, the next item or group of items that I want to talk about are prints or framed artwork. A lot of times when you go to thrift stores or flea markets or auctions, a lot of times you're looking at artwork that has very heavy glass and frames on the prints or on the artwork. And I've always, in the past, when I picked up artwork, even though I know nothing about it, I've picked it up and tried to sell it in the frame. If you look at my store, I still have some framed items that I have to deal with because they're not selling, because the weight of the frame and the glass is very heavy and it throws that item into a very cost prohibitive shipping option for the buyer. But let me say that as you learn, this genre, artwork, framed artwork, especially under glass, you want to make sure that if you're going to remove that frame and glass, that you are not throwing out a frame that is very valuable. There are many times where the frame of a piece of artwork is more valuable than the artwork itself. So try to investigate frames a little bit. If you see frames that are carved or look very old, when you turn it over, I always talk about turning artwork on the opposite side and paying attention to how the frame was built. Is it, something that has tiny brad nails in it? Does it look very old? You might not want to get rid of the frame. But having said that, I had to give that, that little preliminary disclaimer. I have started taking all of the artwork I pick up out of the frames and getting rid of the frames and the glass. Now, could you sell it with the frames? You could. Could you sell it locally and not have to deal with shipping? Again, you probably could. But I find a lot of buyers are going to reframe that artwork to go with the decor of their house anyway. So I have started taking, I'm going to say 90% of the artwork that I pick up out of the frames. I recently posted on Instagram. Very easy thing to do. You flip over the artwork, you take a look at how it was put together. Most times you're just removing that paper backing and then you're looking at how they have secured the piece of art, the print in there. Most of the times it's either one of two things. It's either staples or it's little nails, and you just bend them up and the artwork comes right out. So I do go through quite a bit of artwork by selling it this way, and I've been fairly successful with selling the prints. So these next three items that I'm going to show you, I know nothing about, and I got these at Eric's booth. Eric was having dollar days, I'll call it. He had dollar lots and he had artwork. So I grabbed a couple of these pieces and I'm going to show you. Now, I haven't done any research on these. I just went by gut instinct. So this is the first print. And this has numbering on the bottom, which is always, in my opinion, a good sign if the numbering is not too high. If this numbering says like 1 of 10,000, you might not want the print because that means there's 9,999 other prints out there. But I went by the age of this, the condition of the print, that it had signatures on it, and I paid $1 for it. So I still have to do research on this. Just beautiful. This is what the back looks like. I don't know if with my bright lighting you're going to be able to see. It does have a bit of age spotting, but not bad. And it does have the age spotting. There's a name to that along the border. But I felt for the $1 and the 5 minutes that it took me to get it out of the frame, absolutely yes. So I still have research to do on this, but let's look at print number 2. Okay, so this is more of like a poster, and it is backed with a cardboard. Now see this cardboard? That looks like a modern cardboard to me, so I could not see it when it was in the frame. But for taking a chance on this for the $1, always worth it to me if my eye catches it and I like it. I still think that most times I will be able to sell this. Now this might not be that valuable. I might sell this locally, maybe for $20, something like that. But on the bottom, it's all in French, so I won't butcher the French language and even try to read that. But on this side, it says Vintage Collection printed in Canada. So a lot of these are advertisements for different liqueurs or liquors, but I think these are great fun. Really like that. So again, you can see this is for Bitter Campari. How fun is this? I think these are great in a modern decor. Many different decors, I'm going to say. And now I'm going to show you number 3, which was my most exciting find. Now, one gentleman got to the artwork before I did, or I probably would have wound up with more like, I'm going to say 8 to 10 pieces, but this next piece, beautiful. Okay, here's the next piece. How gorgeous is this? I love prints like this. Well, this is not a print, this is an original. Somebody actually did this, and you can see by when you look at it, as you learn to tell prints from original artwork, you can actually see by the texture of the medium that was used. So if you're looking at chalks, pastels, even paint, acrylic, oil paints, there will be some sort of texture on the paper or on the canvas. When you look at items that are manufactured, that are machine reproduced, almost always they're flat, unless it's a false texture. Sometimes you'll see them in cheap hotels. Not that I've ever stayed in a cheap hotel, but you look at the painting and it will have texture, but it's really even, if that makes sense. So try to learn the difference between something that is artist produced and machine produced. That's the biggest, I think the biggest advantage in buying artwork when you know nothing, is learning to tell if it's been reproduced or if it's an original. Okay, all of that. So now this is, I'm going to say this is either a crane or a blue heron. I'm thinking it might be a blue heron. Just beautiful. And I did sell another one that was very similar to this probably last year, and I got quite a bit of money for it. I'm trying to remember what I got for that. I'll try to find it and put it in here and show you that that one sold and the buyer was thrilled. So I said yes to this. Again, it took me 5 minutes to get it out of the frame, and I paid $1. So we shall see. I'll report back on Instagram of what this sells for so we can all learn what type of artwork is worth picking up. All right, the next item is this sweet little planter. Look how tiny. What kind of plant would you put in there? Maybe a little air plant would be really cute. So it's just a little bird, yellow bird, sitting on a log or a branch. And it has beautiful flower work, kind of like Capodimonte. You know the Italian Capodimonte? It's a very sculptured flower. Now again, this has a little flea bite chip. So there you can see that. And I saw this and I don't even give this a second thought. This is so sweet that even if this doesn't have any kind of marking on the bottom, the adorableness of this is going to carry it. Now I'm not saying I'm going to get $100 for it, but for $1 or $2, I will always buy these. And it does have markings on the bottom. Goldfinch, I should know that. And it has numbering, San Francisco, made in Japan. So there is that item. Do we love that? I love this. Love, 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 triple love. And yeah, I said yes to this. Okay, we better move at a little bit of a quicker clip because I am chatty today and I am slow. All right, next item I picked up, these were in the dollar boxes, just 2 little roses plates. Now without looking at the bottoms, I just took them $1 each, absolutely. And what do they say? Germany, Thomas Ivory, Bavaria, Germany. Really beautiful. And I picture these probably on a vanity to hold like little bits of jewelry. I wear earrings almost every day, and at the end of the day I can't wait to like get my shoes off, my socks off, my earrings off. You know, you start taking everything off, and I have earrings all over the house, always in little dishes. I try to collect them so I don't lose them. So that's what I picture these for. They'd also be really pretty as an under tray for any kind of bottles you keep on your vanity. And so I said yes to the 2 dishes. Let's say that these were $2 for the 2. All right, lately I've been into lighters. Not that I've picked up that many. I probably have just started paying attention to lighters. It's a whole new category for me. And I think in the past 7 years I've probably sold maybe 2 or 3. But in the past month I've probably picked up, I'm going to say 5 or 6. So this is the lighter that I found. And the reason I liked this was the weight was there. I could tell it was vintage, and the bottom had the name, so Ronson Made in France, and that's what made me pick it up, the Made in France. So I'm not saying that I wouldn't have picked it up if it didn't have, if it was made in the United States, I still would have picked it up. If it said made in China, I would have hesitated, but I believe this is crystal. This is very heavy. And I've heard in the past different schools of thought that you can ping crystal, you can kind of flick it and hear the ping. I've also heard that that's not true. I watch a lot of Dr. Lori's videos. She is an antiques and vintage expert. That woman knows a ton. And she says that pinging crystal doesn't tell you anything. It doesn't tell you the lead content or anything. So I kind of trust her word. So I don't judge crystal versus glass by pinging it, if that makes sense. But this is what it looks like, no damage, really beautiful. And I like that it has kind of like an Art Deco look to it. To me, this is Art Deco. And if you want to learn the difference between the different periods of style, whether it's Art Deco, Art Nouveau, Victorian, all the styles, mid-century modern, you could just put that title, I've shared this before, into a Pinterest search, and then let the photos scroll before you. And you will learn a little bit quicker of what style an item is that you're looking at by just remembering those pictures. So I said yes to this French table lighter, just beautiful. And I paid $1 for this, and I'm not sure what I will get for this. I don't think I've done any research. I'm just about to list things, so a lot of times I don't do my research until I'm listing. Now, I have capital to spend. It's very rare that I've made, an error. I don't think, guys, I've ever lost money on anything. But when you're starting out, let me encourage you with, don't just throw things in your cart that you think are pretty, because you're going to be stuck with, unless you want to keep everything, you're going to be stuck with items that were not as good a buy as you thought. So my best advice for new people is look everything up. That's what I did when I started on eBay. And I'm going to say that whole first year, I would gather all the stuff in a thrift store. I wasn't even doing estate sales or flea markets yet. And I would go into the dressing room, with like 20, 30, 50 things, and I would look them up quickly on my phone. And that's how I learned what to keep, what to purchase for resale and what to throw back. Just that little bit of advice. But if you're okay with keeping everything in your house and you have the money to spend, go for it. Buy what you like. Okay, next up, you guys are all gonna give me a hard time. I always say, I don't pick up single cups. Well, here we are, single cup. Look how pretty that is. I'm getting old. I am really getting old. I'm turning 60 this year, and boy, do I see it in my my taste, my mannerism. So funny. I see my mom, which my mom has passed away, but I kind of like that that I can see people that came before me, their mannerisms, my grandmother in me. I don't have a problem with any of that. I like getting older. Hopefully my health will stay good. And that's the end of that commercial. Teacups, Karen, stay focused. So blue poppies, maybe is that a Himalayan poppy? Really pretty. What does it say? Queen Anne, bone china, made in England. So cup and saucer, I have not researched it. I'm picturing between $12 and $15, and I got the set for $1. Alrighty, next up are these two little figurines. Now, while I don't pick up a lot of items this small, how could you not? Look at the faces on these guys. No matter which way you pose them, they're just so cute together. Really, really cute. They have little chains, or they had, hanging from their neck, but they're broken off. So he only has the loop and maybe one or two, little pieces of the chain. But I thought these were adorable. And okay, I'm going to guess the breed. Is that a boxer? Our whole lives, my adult life, the dogs I've had were Samoyeds and Huskies. Pretty much that's what we had. So, as a family when we were raising the kids. So if I see a Samoyed, I know it right away. All the other dogs, not so much. They're adorable. I love these little guys. This guy does have the remnants of his sticker, but I don't think there's any kind of wording. But really finely painted. Again, the face is really nice. And I said yes to these little guys. And let me just say thank you. You guys are always on it. Whenever I say, hey guys, what kind of dog is this? What kind of cat is this? You guys know your breed, so thumbs up to you guys, and I appreciate the help because it would take me a very long time to research every animal to find out, what breed of dog or cat I have. So thank you so much for helping me out. Okay, next two items I'm going to show you together so we can keep this moving. Two creamers, really pretty. Of course, they don't go together, and I don't have the sugar bowls. But creamers are beautiful. I think a lot of people like to collect things like this. They use them as planters if they have country, real farmhouse country. So beautiful. And I said yes to both of these. I got them for $1 each. Made in Germany. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to tell where this is made. It's very blurry. But that might say Japan. So really pretty. Said yes to them. I'm expecting maybe $8 to $10. That's just a guess. They're in great shape. I don't see any chips and cracks. But guys, if you see something you want, and I'm saying on the video, it doesn't look like it has any chips and cracks, always fully read the listing, because that's when I'm putting the description in and the condition. Okay, right after making that little clip of a video, I realized my microphone was backwards. I will get this. I have so much going on that very careful to, charge the battery and do all the things, get the right camera chip, set up the lighting, and the microphone was on backwards. So hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully Lisa, when she edits that video, can raise the volume. Now I'm going to wind up shouting because I feel like I need to compensate. But I have turned the microphone around, so hopefully all of that footage was good. Let's keep going. Okay, next item up is this gorgeous lamp. This is a brass lamp with a brass shade. Is that brass? This is like an enamel shade. I'm actually gonna try pulling this off here. Let me set it down so I don't break it. So that's what it looks like inside. It's like a painted enamel. So it's just a simple desk lamp, has very good weight to it. Like I said, the arrow motif, thought this was super cool, really like this, and I tested it works, which I was a little bit nervous to test it because look at that plug. I grabbed onto a piece of wood. Like if I get electrocuted, that holding onto wood is just going to save me. I don't even know if that's true. Is that a true thing? That if a wire is dangerous, the plug is dangerous, if you hold onto wood, you won't be electrocuted? I think I just made that up, but that's what I do. So I said yes to this beautiful desk lamp, and this was in a group of items, so I imagine I paid, I'm going to say probably $5 for it. That's what I'm guessing. All right, next item up. I don't buy a lot of glassware, but this was gorgeous. It's like an amethyst color. I loved the round shape. It's very like, what do we call this? I don't even know. But the thing I liked about this is this seems hand done, hand blown. Does that make sense? When I look at where the handle is attached, this seems like a glass artist. And also this mark, this is called something. When they're blowing through the tube and blowing the piece of glass, blown art glass, you'll see telltale signs of it. So this was attached while it was hot, rather than a poured or a pressed piece of glass, if I even know what I'm talking about. But that's what my thinking was. So you can see when I'm explaining it to you out loud, sometimes my thoughts aren't even clear, but that's what I'm going by when I say, oh, that's a pretty piece of glass. I pick it up, I see tiny bubbles or imperfections in it. I see that this looks like it was applied when it was molten glass, when it was, hot. That's what my thinking is. Now, is any of that 100% correct? Probably not. But I am learning and I am wanting to learn. So if we have any glass blowers out there, I'd love to hear what you think of what I've just said. Leave a comment down below if you have any knowledge of art glass or blown glass. Thanks, guys. All right, this next item, I have no idea whose booth I got this in. I think I do, and I don't think I know their names yet. There's a couple that sell. I love to chat with everybody and meet everybody and get their names, so I'm making a lot of friends at the flea market this past year, and it's so nice when they see me. They say, hey Karen, how's it going? I love that. I love kind people. Germany, this says on the bottom. Yes, please. That is beautiful. So I guess these are pansies, and I don't know what this blue flower is. Again, maybe a poppy. There aren't too many blue flowers in real life. That aren't dyed. When you go to the florist or the grocery store, they put flowers in blue water, blue dyed water, so it turns the flower blue. We see it with orchids, what other, carnations. But in real life, there are blue Himalayan poppies, which I've heard are very hard to grow, and they are a true blue color. Also Texas, what does Texas have? Cornflower? Is that what Texas has? Blue bonnets? So there are a couple of blue flowers. I don't know why I'm sharing all of this, but you guys, my brain leaks out sometimes, pretty scary, and you guys get to hear what I'm thinking. Yes, please, all day long. Love this. I paid $1 or $2. All right, next item up, I found it at Bob's, and I didn't even try to figure out what it was. Love this. So we have this wood carved, I thought maybe weapon sheath thing. I had no idea what this is. Not a clue. But this is brass. This is all carved wood. Look at that. So do I care what the thing is? Not at all. When I see this kind of work gone into a piece and it's this beautiful, I don't care if this is, a nail clipper or a sheath for a knife. Don't care. I'm buying it. So it turns out, let me see if I can do this and not kill myself. How did I do that? Here we go. So you depress this, and it turns out that it is a carving set. So this is the fork, which you can see on the metal, the patina or the corrosion. I mean, they're in good shape. It looks like they can be cleaned up. The wood on this is stunningly beautiful. I want to learn woods. I should get a book or a video and find out how I tell learning types of wood. I would love to gain that knowledge. And this is the knife. So beautiful, beautiful. Now it is marked India, which I'd rather have it marked like Japan or France. That would be nice. Or Germany. But I will take a piece from India. And that's what that side looks like. Just beautiful. So I said yes to this. And once I got this, it seemed like all the men that were shopping wanted it. How cool would it be to have this at a barbecue? You have friends over, it's Memorial Day, you're cooking, and you're gonna carve the steak or the whatever you've barbecued, and you pull this thing out. I love that idea. So cool. So I said yes to this knife and fork carving set with its sheath holder. All right, I think I should have made this video like 4 parts because we still have, I'm gonna say about 10 items, but I'm just gonna throw it in here, and if you guys need to take a break and come back and watch the rest of it, that works for me. I want to get this haul done because Friday I'm going to be out at thrift stores and I'll be out all day. Probably, I'm guessing, about a 10-hour day, and I will come home with my Jeep loaded. So I want to keep track of that, the interesting things I'm getting to show you guys. So today's video will probably be quite long. Hope you don't mind. And yeah, let's just keep going and taking a look at what I picked up. So next up, I found these two items, I believe, in Eric's dollar box lot. So figure $1 each. They are vintage women's hats. This one, we'll start with this one, has feathers in the side. Again, grosgrain ribbon. So G-R-O-S, G-R-A-I-N. It's a ribbon that has lines in it, and it's used for hat making quite a bit. And this is put out by somebody. I don't even know if glasses are going to help. Let me stick on some glasses and see if I can read this blurry print. Okay, so it is Fabini, F-A-B-I-N-I, designed by Fabini, New York. And I don't know what that says. It's some kind of doe skin felt. Yay, 100% wool. What else does that say? Something and company, made in USA. So if this is a fur felt, if it is genuine doe skin felt, that's better than felt just made from 100% wool. Anytime your felt is made from, how could I say this? It's not just regular nondescript wool. They're attributing it to the animal. That's what I want to say. So you'll see beaver felt. What else have I had? I think I've had deer felt before. And some kind of, I'm going to say calf skin or sheep skin felt. I don't even know if that's accurate. But doe skin felt, 100% wool. Animal, so clothing or hats, mainly hats, that are made out of wool, where it's attributed to the animal, generally bring better prices. So this is great. It has a wire in the brim, so that's great for shaping. Beautiful shape, and I paid $1. It was in the dollar box slots. Look at this beautiful hat. I love this hat. Now this is Woolrich and John Rich and Brothers, and I believe that is a vintage tag for them. So that's what that one looks like. Beautiful brimmed hat with a matching sash around it. So I got both of those for $1. I took this tray. This tray says that it is made in England, and it is a Toll painted tray. I think Toll is T-O-L-E. And usually Toll painting is on black. I don't know if the Toll, I think that refers to the style and the technique of painting. I don't know if that has anything to do with it being painted on black, because I have seen these trays on like a creamy white color. So that's what that looks like. And I said yes to that. I really like when it has the perforation around the rim. These are beautiful. I'll stand back with it so you guys can really see it. All right, the next item I saw, and this could be a big womp womp, but it was so pretty I had to buy it. This is a vintage case with a necklace and earring set. I'm going to take them out so you guys can see. Now the one thing that's confusing me about this is this seems very lightweight to be a vintage piece. And I have not looked at any markings on it yet. If you guys follow my daughter Mellissa with 2 L's on YouTube, that's what her channel name is, Mellissa. She purchased 50 plus boxes of rescue jewelry. I think they were rescue boxes from ThredUp. And the items that she's finding in those boxes are amazing. She's finding solid gold pieces and just stunning jewelry, which this has nothing to do with that, but watching her do unboxings makes me want to learn about jewelry. I'm like, I want to do jewelry. I want to do all the things. You can tell I want to buy all the things. I want to know about all the things. I don't know. I just love all of the information. Anyway, we have this gorgeous necklace, which it has like an oval stone, and then it has, what are those called, baguettes on the side. Look how pretty that is. Wouldn't that be amazing if this was real and they were all real emeralds? Oh, I would be rich, but I'm pretty sure they're fake. But anyway, and they have the matching earrings. Now these are pierced earrings. So to me that says that it's a newer set. I don't know when pierced earrings came into being made, manufacture. I think there were always clip-ons or screwbacks, and then at some point in the modern world, people were getting their ears pierced. So I'll have to look that up. I know in ancient times, getting your ear pierced and you had an awl put in it meant you were a slave. Is that right? Do I have that right in history? Slave to fashion. These are pretty. I might clean these and wear these once with that necklace before I list them and sell them. That's one of the great parts of this business, is that you get to use things and then sell them because they're already all pre-owned anyway. So you get to enjoy the item for a while and then list it on your store and sell it. So that is a great perk of this job. Okay, I have one more hard good, and I do not have shoes today. Shocker, I know, I did not find any boots or shoes that I wanted to purchase, but I have one more hard good and then a few quilts I want to show you that are really exciting. But I found this box, really pretty, all carved. I believe it's pine, and I think it's a certain kind of pine. I'm not quite sure, but it has very much variation of coloring in the pine. What kind of pine would that be? Knotty pine? I know there's so many different types of pine. Anyway, recently I showed another box because I love showing wood boxes that I love to pick up, and I called this dovetail, which that's not accurate. Dovetail is when the corners are put together like this, but the little pieces of wood flange at the ends. That's true dovetail. This has a couple of different names, and now I'm going to forget. Mortise and tenon, and you guys told me another thing, finger joint, I think somebody said. But the point is that boxes, furniture, anything put together like this is much stronger than how the average piece of furniture is put together these days, where most of it is just stapling it together. Horrible. And they fall apart, everything falls apart easy. But anyway, the thing I liked about this box was the keys are inside because it has a little locket lock. And no, I haven't tested the keys, but I figured if somebody put them in a baggie and taped them in, most likely those are the correct keys, but I will try them so that I can put that in my listing. And the top of the box looks like a little house on a lake with a man. Very romantic, very sweet. I love this. And again, I think did I pay $1 for this? I think this was in one of the groups of things where I made piles of things. The next few items I bought from one dealer, Cindy, and oops, I forgot your husband's name, Cindy, sorry. And I saw somebody else shopping in their, in their vendor space, and the woman was holding up a quilt. And I like picking up quilts, handmade, anything handmade, sometimes machine made. And the woman did buy the quilt, but it caught my attention to go over and take a closer look at Cindy's booth. And next time when I go, probably on Sunday, I'll see Cindy again and ask her husband's name. But now the quilt looked like this that the other woman bought, but they had two quilt pieces, toppers, where this is not a completed project, but I wanted these. I paid $10 a piece, which is very high for me, but the work is there and they're gorgeous. Ready for these quilt toppers? Just beautiful. And guys, this is all hand stitched. Look at the stitching on the back there. Can you guys see that? All the irregular stitching. Those are all those pieces put together. Now the front looks very even. I think this is, I don't know what this stitch is called, but can you guys see that stitch? That looks so even. I am thinking that that's machine done. Could that possibly be? Because every stitch is ending in the same amount of space. And I don't know if a person could be that good. So I'm thinking that that might be, I don't know, on a machine. This doesn't make sense to me because it's definitely vintage. You could tell by the materials, you could tell by the age of the cloth, but yet if somebody stitched all of that by hand, that's amazing. And I have two of these. I bought both of them, $10 a piece. One of them has a few little marks, but generally they're in really beautiful condition. When you find quilts like this, I don't know if this one's considered a crazy quilt, but I have seen gorgeous crazy quilts where they do this kind of pattern where all the pieces are different shapes and they're all pieced together, and the crazy quilts have like velvet and brocades, just stunningly beautiful. So if you are a quilter or have quilting knowledge and you think this might be a form of a crazy quilt, could you let me know? And I'll show it to you again. Look at that. Isn't that great? So I bought 2 of these and I love the colors, very, very popping colors, almost like lily or I don't know, really, really pretty. I'm guessing these are from maybe the 60s. That's what the material reminds me of. But again, I don't have a lot of knowledge. So that's quilt number 1. This is quilt number 2. You can see I label my quilts when I bring them home and I start to photograph them. I make sure that I put labels on them so that the quilts, when they're similar, that the person bought, that's what they're really receiving. So I always attach inventory. But this is the second one. Same type, but oh, just so cool. I love this. They almost tell a story with all the different prints. Okay, another item that I picked up was this crocheted tablecloth. Now let me just say, I don't normally pick these up. This day I felt like it. I think I got this for $3, $2 or $3 I got this one for. And I did check it at the flea market. I have to check it again, that this one has no rips or tears or stains. That's very important in a needlework piece, I think, because if it has a lot of rotting, if the cotton, a lot of times these are made of cotton, and if there's a lot of rotting or a lot of weakened areas, that could be a very slow sell unless the person is using it as a cutter lot. You know, they're going to make crafts out of it. But this one was beautiful. I did wash it already. So I washed this right in my machine on delicate cycle. I fill the machine with cold water. This I actually put regular laundry detergent and I let it soak, and then I put it through a gentle rinse and spin. I rinsed it twice because cotton really holds the soap. So I picked this up. And I have not measured it yet, but all clean, ready to go. And I didn't see damage, but I will check it again. All right, we have 2 more items. Are you still with me? Please hit the like and subscribe button so you could support my channel that way, and leave a comment down below and give me a thumbs up if you like this kind of content of me showing all the craziness that I pick up. Okay, next up is a modern quilt. This is machine made, mass produced, but I thought this was worth it, so I'm going to stand back. This quilt reminded me of Lewis Comfort Tiffany. So I'm hoping this translates. This looks to me like kind of like a copy of the Tiffany glass, the windows, that Tiffany is famous for. The coloring reminded me of that. I don't know if that's what this quilt maker, I shouldn't say maker, this manufacturer was trying to produce, but the colors are just beautiful. Lots of purples, blues, yellows. That's pretty much the 3 colors in this. Just stunning. Very good clean condition, no rips. The only thing is it has no tag. I don't see the maker anywhere. So I will put in what information I have describing it, see if I can find anybody else selling a similar one and see if they have the manufacturer. But if not, I'm just selling it on its own merit. I think this will sell. It's so beautiful. It's a throw size, so it's not a full bed size, but I don't know, I think you could use this even in a baby's room. So stunningly beautiful. Really, really pretty. All right, I'm going to see if I can balance this next piece. Very heavy, very big, very gorgeous. Fell in love with this. Now you guys know I buy a lot of Pottery Barn, and even though this isn't marked, it's a chandelier, I think this might be Pottery Barn, but I'm going to stand back so you can see the gorgeousness of this next piece. Look at this light. This thing is stunningly beautiful. And it's big. This thing is heavy. So the minute I saw this, I said, oh yes, that's mine. I didn't even hesitate. I don't care how I'm shipping it. I don't care what I got to do. I almost want to install it in my house, but I have enough chandeliers now. Every room in this house has a chandelier. I am like chandelier obsessed. But yeah, this is gorgeous. Has to be hardwired, so I did not test it. But you know, even if the wiring didn't work, which I'd be surprised if it didn't, since this is a contemporary piece and you know, the wire is fairly well made, I think rewiring this would not be a big deal if somebody loved the lamp. So when I list it, I'm going to put untested because I'm not hardwiring this into my house to be able to tell, you know, if and guarantee that this works. But this is just beautiful. 3 candelabras in there. So beautiful. Okay, I want this. I want to keep this. Look how pretty that is. I also found this at Williams Grove Flea Market. So one of the things that I look for when I buy chandeliers is the weight of the item. I want the chandelier to be heavy. To me, that means the metal is a better quality grade. And I also want the crystals to be glass or real crystal. Now, not to say I never buy a lamp with plastic crystals. It really has to be something over the top gorgeous for me to put up with that. I'm kind of like a crystal snob. I want them to be faceted. I want them to be clear. I want them to be glass or crystal. So those are kind of like my criteria for picking up chandeliers. I have sold many chandeliers, and you guys know I will take chandeliers apart. Constantly selling crystals, chandelier parts, the metal parts, anything that I can take off of a chandelier, you know, the ceiling cup, the chain, the whole bit. It's all fair game when I find a chandelier. Most times though, I'm selling my chandeliers as a whole piece, and I try to sell them local pickup. I try, but I do ship them. I shipped one out, I'm gonna say last week. This morning I shipped a table lamp, which that's got to go to FedEx. The box is like 4 feet big. And yeah, all craziness all the time. So that is the video for today. If you have hung out for this whole thing, you need a prize. Thank you so much for just hanging out with me and seeing all the craziness that I pick up. I will report back on Instagram like I always do when things sell, especially if they're of note. Like for all the little tchotchkes, you know, from getting $10 or $15, a lot of times you won't see them in the hauls, but you can always go into my eBay store, Lavenderclothesline, and sort by my solds to see what things sold, what price they brought. I have no problem with that. I think that it's great to learn from one another, and really excited to be in this line of work. And what else do I have to say? I think that's it. I hope you guys are having a great day. Please hit the like and subscribe button one more time, and I will talk to you soon. That's not the ending. Go out and get what's yours.